Hey guys, name's James and I play games, but today we are not playing a game. Instead, we are doing something completely different, and it's to do with one of my hobbies and passions, which is writing. So, I know naturally the mediums don't go together, video, writing, they're kind of not opposites necessarily, but you wouldn't think of them as being together. They're complementary in the sense of you'd write a script for something you want to film, but they're not the same thing. They're different mediums. But we're going to try and mix it together and make a video about writing, because, there's not many videos about writing out there on YouTube. In fact, I've been able to find one, and they didn't actually do any writing in it. They just talked about writing. Why? Because writers write. That's what they do. They don't record videos. I like recording videos and I like writing, so I thought, put the two together, do that. So, do you like the background? That's the first thing. But what I have here is I have myself a list of characteristics and places and situations. So I'm going to roll up 3 random characters using a 20-sided die. Actually, is this 20-sided? Yeah, it is. Good. Didn't mess that up. So there's a 20-sided die beside me, and I'm going to roll it and see what we get. And then this table is optional as genre. I'm probably not going to do that. Since it's the first one, I'm just going to stick with something I'm kind of comfortable in, which is fantasy. So it's going to be like a fantasy story. Oh, sorry. First things first, we're going to be writing a short story with these characters. I should have mentioned that first. So the short story is going to be 2 or 3 pages long. Maybe in later episodes, if this does well, if you guys like it, then I can do longer ones. So it's like 7 or 8 pages short story. But for now, it's going to be very much just is the setting, is the characters. Bam, bam, bam. We're done. So it's going to be setting, action, ending. It's going to be very basic for now, since it's the first one and I just want to do something I'm really comfortable with. And yeah, they've updated iMovie, so I'm going to have to get used to a new update in iMovie, meaning editing is going to be more difficult. So that's yet another reason why I just want to kind of keep it simple for now, keep it short. So we're going to be doing a fantasy build, I guess you could call it, of a story. These are the characteristics table. So when I roll up my I have D8 beside me as well, by the way. When I roll up my characteristic, so let's just do a random one. So that's 10 on the d20, so he's rude. How rude is he? How noticeable is it? We got, this is a 10-sided die, not an 8-sided die. Okay, never mind. Oh, 5. We got 5. Goddamn fly. It's a fly around me. Anyway, we got 5, sorry. So it's a very noticeable. So he's very noticeably rude. So the character, one of the characters we'd be writing about would be very noticeably rude. So we're going to roll up 3 characters. Each of them is going to have 3 characteristics with different levels of noticeability. And the paranoia table, there's I believe it's on this side, this paranoid. Like, as you can tell, it goes from enthusiastic down to psychotic. So we have a big range. I think paranoid, yeah, it's here. So that's basically just what to tell it's paranoid of. So 1 to 7 is a common paranoia, so it's like a fear of spiders, a fear of heights, a fear of whatever. Then if you go 8, 9, or 10 with the 10-sided die, that's why it's 10-sided die, remember now. So if it's 8, you're scared of water. Because there's a few people who are scared of water, but you're actually paranoid of water. So you hate water, and drinking water is difficult for you. You'd have something other than just water, just because if it was just water, you'd start to feel sick drinking it, kind of an idea. 9 is light, because there's there are some people. I mean, I'm guessing very few, but there are some people who would hate light. So they'd be just in the dark the whole time. You'd have like an assassin kind of vampire almost character with that, because vampires would very noticeably be paranoid of light because, well, if they get in sunlight, they burn. So it has real effects with some characters. And then number 10 is people. So with people, you'd be a recluse, is the idea. If you're paranoid of people, but like if someone came near you, you'd just be scared, kind of an idea. So there's a lot of different things here, and then there's common, which is kind of like spiders and whatever, things that people are generally scared of or paranoid of, is just in the comment section. So yeah. What else is there to go through? We have this. These are the different characters, number 1, 2, 3, and spare in case I mess one of them up. So I'm going to just be, putting in characteristic setting. And I'm going to do that with all 3 of the characters. So the setting is obviously going to be the same for all 3. But and then the characteristics are here. So basically this is a mind map about how the setting is going to affect said character, what said character is going to do, just very, very basically, just so you can get a graphical image. And then the characteristics are, I'm going to be like, how is he going to interpret the characteristics, what's going to be like the character, he or she or whatever, catchphrase if you wish, what's the important thing they're going to say, what they're going to do that's actually important to this short story. I'm going to do that for each of the characteristics. So that's that bit, and then back to this background again. This is the actual place where I'm going to be writing the short story, and for this what I'm going to be doing is I'll record it, but most of it's going to be deleted. So I'm going to do small progress updates, and I'm going to do a voiceover over those small project updates when I'm editing it, basically. So for now, like when I'm actually writing this, I'm not going to be talking, so it'll just be a voiceover after the fact, so I can script and stuff and it'll all make sense, and I'm not rambling on like I am now for the intro. So yes, without further ado, I have my made a lot of noise because I was near the mic. I have my sticky notes, and I have my pen, and I have my dice, and I have my table. So let's get rolling characters. So the first character will be 8. Will be a caring character. Okay, so character number 1 is caring, and extremity of care is what's its extremity of care? He is extremely caring. Okay, an extremely caring character. Still yet to decide whether it's male or female, but I'm just going to call it he is a baseline, me being male, and then if it does turn out to be female, you end up just switch to calling it she in this actual story, but for rolling up sake. And then so 3 each. So caring, 14. Egotistical. Okay, that's going to be difficult to mix the two of them, especially if this turns out to be an extreme role. Okay, so extremely caring and egotistical. Alright, and the extremity of his egotisticalness, I guess you would call it, is I rolled a 10 and a 9. Okay, come on. 1. Oh, mild. Okay, there we go. It'll be easy enough to incorporate in that case. So we have mild. So a mildly egotistical nature, but he's very caring. He's extremely caring, in fact. So there we go. And then third and final characteristic. Caring again, okay. We get it. He's really caring. Let's roll again. impatient. Okay. Okay, I've kind of got a bit of a story idea going now. So if he's impatient, he's caring, and he's egotistical. Maybe he's some sort of a politician that works with the poor or something, and he's, very caring, so he's trying to look after them. But he's impatient because, there's so many other TDs or parliamentary representatives around him, other politicians that are just stopping him from doing what he wants to do, and that's annoying him because he wants everything to be done bam 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 bam, because it's good for his ego if he gets a lot done, because he's a politician, so they're expected to do very little, but our people hope and say you should be doing a lot. So yeah, that really works. So he's a politician. You got this. Okay, so impatient. How impatient is he? How frustrated has he become with the way things are run in his world? Let's see. We have one. So mildly. So he's mildly impatient. So he's just gone a bit frustrated with how long everything's taking. All right, this works. So I'm gonna just put I'm gonna write an evocation here, and I'm just going to put in brackets politician. All right. So that's character number 1. And now for character number 2. Character number 2. So how are you going to interact with our politician? Let us see. So we have is that a 6 or 9? That's a 9. Lackluster and free. Okay, so probably not a politician then. So it's not just going to be a group of politicians in this. Okay. A lackluster / free. Alright, this is actually going to be real interesting to see how I can bring it all in to incorporate the one story. Incorporate the one story, is that how you'd say it? Probably not. Anyway, so he's lackluster and free. How lackluster and free? 5. Very noticeably lackluster and free. Alright, so it's very noticeable. I'm just going to put V dot noticeable. V dot notice dot. It'll do, just shorthand. Okay, characteristic number 2 is a 3, so ecstatic. So he's lackluster, free, ecstatic. Okay, we have a very different character here. Perhaps what we could have is I don't know, the politician. I put politician, but maybe it could be a policeman, an investigator, or politician still. So I was kind of thinking that the lackluster, free, ecstatic. If I get something like caring for this character, it could be something like a vigilante who's really lackluster, free, ecstatic. He's a really weird character, but he's like pushing for rights as well, and he's kind of getting in the way of the politician and his way of doing things, which is why the politician's getting impatient. We could put that in. I don't know. Let's see how ecstatic he is. So he's mildly ecstatic, but still, ecstatic is ecstatic. If he was extremely ecstatic, it would mean like he'd be on some sort of drug. He'd be having a high. So it's mild or noticeable. I'm just gonna say that since it's mild, he's a happy, he's a happy-go-lucky guy. He gets high on life, not on drugs. So that's what we'll go with. So he's mild, but he is actually ecstatic, because ecstatic is ecstatic. Then his third characteristic will be 15, aggressive. Ooh, okay. So he's lackluster and free. He's ecstatic, but he's also aggressive. So that to me would be, it's a bit like a hippie boxer or something like that. I don't know, a hippie martial artist. kind of a character, maybe. I don't think that will actually fit in with the politicians, so I'll have to think about this one a bit more, but okay, this is gonna be cool. So aggressive. I know, actually, aggressive does fit in with the kind of vigilante idea. Extremist, maybe, because he's ecstatic about what he wants to do. He's aggressive. He's lackluster and free. Okay, if he's lackluster and free, he may not be a leader necessarily, because he's too, he's not organized. He's out there. He's whatever. But maybe he is. Maybe he's a spokesman for this extremist group that are trying to get rights for the poor. And this politician's trying to do it a different way, and he's getting impatient with them for it. Yeah, we can go with that. So it's in a poorer kind of a setting. We'll have to see what the setting, the role for the place, that situation actually is before we can finalise that. We may just get all of our plans chucked out the window. We'll see. How aggressive is it actually? Let's first do that. So 10, 3. Noticeably aggressive. Okay. Right, we can work with that. Notice dot. So yeah, I like the vigilante idea. So he's I'm gonna put vocation vigilante. Yep. So slash extremist. Alright, so that's character 2, and once again I pulled that sticky note close to the mic, so that probably made a loud noise. Sorry. Right, character 3. So character 3. This is gonna be interesting. We have 17. Cruel. Ooh. Okay, that works once again with the kind of rights for the poor thing. It's not necessarily a rich man even. It could be one of the poor people who's very, cruel to his fellow men because he steals from them and stuff just to survive. But there's no sense of community spirit with him like there is with the others, with this kind of a revolution that's going on. He, however, is just cruel. He takes what he wants. He's kind of a gruff character. Or we could have, as I say, the rich character who's being cruel to the poor. Both are very interesting ideas, I think. We'll have to see how that goes. So he's cruel, yeah. Cruel. What extent, though? That's the thing. To what extremity? We have a 6, so he's very noticeably cruel. Okay. V dot notice dot. He's very noticeably cruel. He's 14. He's egotistical. Okay, yeah, rich guy. Yeah, because poor guys don't tend to be egotistical. So this is really working with a theme. Egotistical. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to get the point of the revolution and all that's going on across in just a short story. That's actually going to be the main challenge, trying to keep it short in this case. If he's egotistical, how egotistical? If we get extreme, this is going to actually be fun. 4, noticeable. Still noticeable. That's still going to work. That's still going to work with it, definitely. So we got noticeable. So he's noticeably egotistical and he's very noticeably cruel. And then we have, that's a cock die, 18, paranoid. Oh, this is a very interesting character. I was kind of hoping I'd get a paranoid character so I could use my paranoia table. So let's hope we roll a 10 for this. This would be brilliant. No, a 6. A 6 is common. Yeah. Okay, so he's I was really hoping for 10 because then he could be paranoid of the poor, of being poor with people of such low standing in society that he'd be dragged down with them or something like that. He's that kind of a right bastard. But he's Common. So I suppose a common fear or kind of paranoia would kind of include becoming poor. He's scared of becoming poor. He's paranoid of the poor because they're having this revolution and he doesn't want to lose all his money. So he's more paranoid about losing his money, which is a more typical fear than being paranoid of poor people. But that's, yeah. Okay, so paranoid. He is... Oh, I forgot to roll the extremity. How extreme... He's extremely paranoid. Okay. So he's extremely paranoid of losing his money. Makes sense. Evocation rich guy. What would it be? Banker? Yeah, banker. We can go with banker. So evocation. I'm just gonna go with Evo now. Let's just do this the real shorthand way. Evo banker. Okay, so we have banker. We have a banker. We have a vigilante / extremist leader, and we have a leader / spokesperson. But yeah, I can put that in my map. So leader. So banker, vigilante, leader, and politician in a poor setting. But this could all be really thrown in a heap if we get something really wacky in the playset situation, because as you can see, it goes from city street day to city street night. There's these different differentiations. I put two of them in because I ran out of different things, but we have park, restaurant, spacecraft. We could do a sci-fi kind of there will always be poor, even in this futuristic world where there's all this tech, there's still the poor. That's still a problem. That would be really cool. I was going to say I really hope I don't get spacecraft, but now I kind of really want spacecraft. Yeah, so park, restaurant, spacecraft, apartment, Eiffel Tower, new planet, that once again sci-fi, the woods, bedroom. If we get bedroom, how are we going to realistically get these three characters in the same bedroom? I really don't know. Perhaps they've the politician has done some sort of a deal with this extremist group to try and get him improve his ego, and he really cares about the poor. He's extremely caring about the poor, so he is kind of another extremist. So perhaps they got together and captured this banker and put him in their bedroom or basement. Okay, yeah, we can kind of do that. Or they meet in an abandoned factory. I don't know. Maybe the rich guy is actually a factory owner instead of a banker. We can change it from banker to something else. So yeah, if we get factory, we can do that. But farm. How? Why would you just meet on a random farm? I don't know. I mean, once again, we could. Yeah. Okay, I can see how we can kind of work this in. So graveyard, concert hall. Okay, so we could have the vigilante leader, the spokesperson, take over kind of the stage as he reels off his spiel to all these rich people who are meant to be watching opera or something like that. We could realistically have that, and the bankers in the audience. So it's told from the spokesperson and the banker's point of view, and the politicians there too, backing up the vigilante or spokesman. Okay, I actually like a lot of these, but the beach. I mean, realistically, they could all be on the beach at once, but I actually genuinely hope I don't get beach, because that would just, it kind of, I don't know, it doesn't seem like, it seems like too happy a setting for what I'm going for. Yeah, I don't really want beach. City street night, that's fine. Balcony? Spokesperson's on the balcony, down below, the bank is listening to them. That's cool. Hotel. Once again, the hotel could have a balcony, so it's in this case. I think I'm going to kind of make those the same thing. Floating island. I mean, fancy world. People are poor. That makes sense. Department store or shop. Ooh, could be an abandoned department store. You know, one of those giant warehouses or something like that. But yeah, yeah. I don't know. That one's a difficult one too. So beach and this I don't particularly want. All the others I don't mind. So likelihood is we're going to get one of the ones I said we don't want, even though technically, mathematically that's not true. Let's see. 1. City, street, day. Okay, that's basic. And my voice just kind of cracked. I thought I was long past that. Apparently not. Okay, so we have the city, street, day. Alright. Okay. Day. It's specifically day. Setting. Alright, so now let's get on with this bit. For this, I am going to stop the recording, this whole process kind of here. You'll see visually, I won't really be talking to you whilst doing it, though. I'll be doing it in my own time and I'll be speeding it up for the recording. So for now, that'll be the end of this part of the recording. Of course, the video will go on longer. But for me, this is the stop, and then we're going to go into the kind of a time lapse. So see you guys on the flip side.